Might help if I put my microphone on. Hello, everybody. How are you? I hope you're doing well. Yes, I'm sitting in the dark. I don't know. I'm just sitting in the dark. So I've got lights reflecting everywhere. How are you all? Yeah, it's interesting. Can I drop? Yeah, I'll drop a link in a minute, Bella. Yeah, I I'll do that shortly. I turned up at work the other night and we got told that all the casuals had our last shift. Unfortunately, being a casual in Australia means I only have to give you an hour notice. I had a shift. So I am now free. I'm now free at most of the evenings now. I know. Yeah, well, it's my halo. Yeah. So yeah, I'm an angel, really. So my time is yeah, a little bit more freer now. So I've been studying. I've got my first of assignments during the next couple of weeks, which is a bit scary. And I've been trying to catch up on a whole pile of stuff that's been going on. And oh wow, everyone's joining. It's fun, yeah. So I got a bit of halo effect, yeah. So I just saw Doom was in the or Dom. I knew him when he was Dom. Um, I saw and Bella and Short Order Cook and the Fox and Angela and who else? Robin and Peter, the Fox. Have I said that? Yes. So hello everyone. Sorry, lost it, but I get my. Well, that's right. The other thing is I'll be saving on petrol because I don't have to go to the airport every night. My daughter got her license, and so now I'm hooking her up for rides. But she's got work. She's got nearly full-time work. She's working 10-hour shifts at the moment, so that's good. Just don't want to hear me. So yes, I'm going to I'll drop the link shortly. I want to just talk about a few things first, and then I'm happy to do an open panel. So yes, I did put in there about the coffee cup girl. I've been looking for that clip. I can't find it, but the Fox is a pain. He types too quick. True. Yeah, some things are just going on in Australia at the moment. You got petrol went down here. Wow, petrol went down. What is it here? I've got an app called what's it called? Petrol Spy, and Petrol Spy gives you all the petrol prices for a round. So what did you say? $1.98. Oh, that's all right. No, it's fine, Bella. Oh, $1.87 or $1.83 at my local. Wow, that's gone down a lot. So very interesting. It was $2.48. Wow, $2.48. Well, it's $1.80. Yeah, $1.80 something in my local area. So yeah, then we've got the government politicians who are bagging the government, and I believe that the opposition have just done their budget reply speech and has promised to put a whole pile of has promised to put a whole pile of money into aged care, and we know how desperately aged care is short of money. Oh no, that's all right, but I know what you're going to say. It's not a problem. I'm going to give the link in a minute. I know, yeah, but I want to just before I drop the link, I just want to do a few things first. So yeah, so and yeah, and it would seem that Katie Joy's not doing as much YouTube at the moment as she has been. Well, apparently, also, I saw that there's the arts have been cut, and well, it's about time they are giving money to aged care. Is anyone left? Well, that's right. Well, this is the Labor Party, so this is the opposition have said if they're going to if they get into government, they're going to give money to aged care. The other thing that got cut in the budget is Centrelink. What's everyone's biggest complaint about Centrelink? What does the government do? We're going to cut 270 jobs and outsource them. No, if you want to fix up Centrelink, you put people on, you train them, you show them what they need to do, and you get rid of the job agencies and you have Centrelink run all the jobs. Is everybody old enough to remember the old CES? It used to work. It worked very, very well. So anyway, I'll get off my soapbox now. But yeah, so that's just all the stuff that's latest that's come in. There has been no judgment made that's come out of the court. I also noticed today that there was a new public interest case and discovered that is to do with the government's infighting amongst the two different factions. And apparently we, the taxpayers, we, the taxpayers, are actually going to be paying for that fight. The LNP just announced apprenticeship funding that is exactly the same that they fund now, just adjusted the way they pay and announced. Yes. Well, it wouldn't be cards anymore. It'd be digitized. But yes, I remember the CES being next door to Centrelink and it was called DSS. So anyway. But if you had specialist people, and then you have the people that are specialized in that, so you have your specialist, job search people, and you have your specialist aged care people, because guess what? Aged pension people. Now they're all trained to do everything, and you can't learn the scope of everything. So anyway. Well, and a Liberal senator has just come out and criticised, another Liberal senator has come out and criticised the one that's criticised the government, and to say that this woman's a bully. So now we've got the women of the government fighting amongst each other. Sorry, secrets, yeah. Which is really interesting. So there's all this infighting and backfighting, and those to AI. Yeah, but also they contract out. I'm ashamed to admit I was job services worker. I had to leave because I couldn't help people. Look, I worked for the contracting firm that had the contract for Centrelink, and I kept getting in trouble because I tried to actually help them. I wanted to help these people, and I kept getting into trouble. But I gotta help them. I gotta do something for them. I can't tell them, and look, it's really frustrating because you want to help people and you know that you can't. Your hands are tied. I know. Sure, to cook. How dare I? I know. It was like that too. I actually got put on a work performance for that very thing. I was put onto a performance plan for that very thing. And then it was, okay, well, if you're going to do that to me, I am going to tell people how to get around the system. So I started doing that. Then in fact, before they put me on work performance, they sacked me until they realised that they'd actually broken the law and I was going to take them to Fair Work. And then I had lost my job for a total of 2 hours because they realised they hadn't done the proper procedure, and I got my job back. And the thing is, they did not actually think that I would turn up the next day. They thought if we tell her she's got her job back, she won't turn up. She won't turn up and we'll get off the hook, she won't come back. And I walked straight back in the door. I walked straight back in the door the next day as if nothing had happened. because I wanted them to see me and I wanted them to know that they weren't going to bully me out of a job. Well, they did eventually, but this is why I tell people don't get on my bad side. They hadn't even taken they hadn't even removed my access pass. So I just scanned in, got in, worked in, and they go, "Oh, you're back." Yep. I said, "You'll have to try harder next time." Or at least learn the procedure, learn how fair work procedure, and then gave them a printout on the procedure. Oh boy, I was not. I still laugh when I think about that. Oh boy, it was the looks on their faces when I walked in, because, as I said, they were certain I wasn't going to show up. So, talking about trigger warning, let's talk about our favourite girl. I haven't forgotten yet, Bella. I'm still getting there. So, it's just hilarious. Oh, that's one of my, I have to say, that's one of my, I don't have much of a life. That's one of my proudest moments, was when I actually walked in and pretended there was nothing wrong. Now, apparently, here, she's talking about fathers abandoning children. We've got some darker stuff. We're still on 7M, and we've got a live here to watch as well. Apparently, if you make coffee, you're in a cult. So who's in my cult? Because I love my coffee. And I mean, a lot of my problems. When I was a mum today too. Were you without a lawyer? Or were you, Peter? Guess what? I was a mum today as well. Isn't that hard? I was a mum. Actually, no, that was me the other day. Hey, Doom. Yeah, I was a mum. She says that they're going after her kid, which, off to make one now coffee. Well, yeah, the cult. Oh dear. All right, so she says, going after my kid. So she's titled this, "Going After My Kid." Today was weird because she had to be a mum and take her son to the doctor. Rolls eyes, sarcasm, resentment. Typically, she's on the internet stalking people 12 to 18 hours a day while her special needs son's neglected. And she writes here, "The fan account allegedly run by 7M is now using my child, as a pawn in their game. I'm not responding to their baseless allegations against me, just posting to show the receipts of what is said about people who report on the situation. I believe Scientology calls this fair gaming." Then someone's right, "An attack on you is an attack on all working mums." What? Oh, Australia is a cult thing because, we all drink coffee. The thing is, she was the one that put it out there. She was the one that said, I had to be a mum today and take my child to the doctor. You put it out there, it's fair game, in my opinion. Now, but the one before, she's talking about a father abandoning child. No, this was without a crystal ball questions, apparently. But they've used. I'm pointing at my screen. They used the clip of her last line, her last live, the 16 seconds where she said she had to be a mum. So yeah, all right, yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it, sir. I'll do it shortly. You caught mission Vietnamese coffee, 3 shots espresso over ice top. Oh, I tell you what I really like. I love. Is it called the affogato? It's espresso over ice cream. Oh, espresso over ice cream. Oh. So, yeah, real men who produce children stand by their children and raise them into adulthood. Okay. This someone left this comment under the reel I shared of Kendra and Tiger Eyes get real friends and family are crying and terrified. That's the truth. If we go back over any of her reactions when she's been sued, it will all be the same response. Of course, short order. It's all going to be the same. Adam Busby left this comment on a question about the show's future. So there we go. She's look, we were happy to celebrate with Jeremiah and Hannah at their beautiful wedding yesterday. Congratulations. She says Jim Bob and Michelle Duggar returned to Instagram to congratulate Jeremiah and Hannah. The comments were limited on the post. Only the Bates family left a comment. The Bates family attended the wedding in Nebraska. How dare they? She's diversified for a little bit. It's not a wedding without bunk bed Jed. But he's married, isn't he? There you go. There's his wife. She's pregnant. Apparently, here we go. A fasting app. Apparently, intermittent fasting also means you're in a cult. Did you know that? Did you know that if you do intermittent fasting, you're in the cult? I'm just in the cult. All right. I want to look at her live, but we'll do that shortly. And I do know. Yeah, all right. So I'm going to put the link here. Where are we? And then you can come up and join me if you would like to, and then we will. I want to show the politician ripping shreds off the Prime Minister, and also look at the person that's saying that the person that said that the Prime Minister's a bully is actually a bully herself. So it's really interesting. Oh boy. These are the people making decisions in our country. There's so much infighting. If they spent more time being concerned about the country as they are about keeping their own jobs, it would be. Oh, I've got two people. Hello, Bella. Hello, Doom or Dom.
Hello. How are you, sweet Joe?
Hi, Doom. Doom.
Yes,
I
Bella?
commented a very nice comment in your display, but you couldn't see it because you still got me blocked.
I will go over there momentarily and I will unblock you.
Okay, can I say something to you? Congratulations for seeing the positive side and doing what you've done in your live stream of sticking up for yourself.
Yeah, I'm not going to let that person bully me into silence.
Those people?
Him, I should say him. You should know who I'm talking about.
And the one starting with the S as well.
Yep.
Congratulations.
Thank you. It's a relief, actually. I'm actually more relaxed these days, believe it or not. You wouldn't think so if you're watching my channel, right, Joe?
I've been watching it. I've been watching you. As I said, I've been watching what's going on. I've just been very, very silent about what's been going on because I was trying to stay in my lane. I did not want to get dragged by anybody.
No,
Yeah,
I don't
you know
want
what? Stay in your lane. I appreciate you watching me. You know, I'm glad you are. But yeah, don't get involved because this is.
No, I haven't. I mean, I
I
have very strong.
I just mean I want you, you know, you're a sweet, wonderful woman. I love you to death. I don't want you, you know, dragged into something that doesn't involve
Hey, I
me.
get
You know
into
what I
enough
mean?
trouble on my own.
Oh yeah, you do. Yep.
So
to.
yeah, I've been very much aware of what's been going on, and I've had a lot of a lot of things to say, but I've no, I've to people off YouTube,
Yeah.
people I've spoken to or had comments with, I've spoken about, but I've not, and as I said, I've known what's been going on. I've watched it, and and I have to say, when people were saying about you being or seeing you in my chats, my whole thing is, as long as you're respectful, I don't care who you are, and I wasn't taking sides.
Well, and to be honest, and I will reiterate this.
Can I just say
Well,
something? Sorry, Doom, to
yeah, go ahead.
interrupt. If I'm breathing heavy, it's due to something that happened last week. So I'm just apologizing for that.
Oh, you're fine. You're fine.
Yeah, so I mean,
But I'm just saying to everybody, but I'm being respectful to you and Joe as well.
yeah, no, that's fine. But I did have people that were talking to me about, making sure that, you know, about blocking you, and and I said, no, I'm not blocking anybody because
Well,
I
here's
don't
the
have a
thing,
problem with
though.
you.
What people, I think people tend to forget that I was actually your mod
I was going to say,
long,
and you're also one of my
long
OGs.
before he came into the picture. Long
Yeah,
Yeah.
before.
yeah, and you're one of my OGs. And I said, and one of the things I said was that, as far as I was concerned, you're respectful, and but that's my rules. Just be respectful. So I didn't have a problem, and I've always said that everybody is welcome here. So, and I extend that to everybody. So I don't have a problem. So
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't drag the You know me. I don't
yeah.
drag the bull crap over here.
So and
Sorry, I
everyone,
don't know
and
if
I
that's a
really,
safe word or not.
I just wanted to say to you personally, thank you for seeing the other side.
Yeah, I wish I had saw it sooner, but like I said, I had hope,
Yep,
but that hope dashed. The
look,
hope.
yep.
I'm sort of the same thing, Doom. I sort of in my personal life, I've got somebody. There's somebody in my life that probably shouldn't be there at the moment, but I keep having hope. And anyway, I don't know, but I mean,
Would
they've
you
just
mention that name?
nah. I'm not mentioning the name.
Okay, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Is it me?
Oh no, it's not you.
Okay.
No, no.
I just
Oh no.
sometimes you know what end up happening to me behind the scenes.
Oh no,
You
no,
know
no,
the
no, no,
other
no.
thing? I just get panic
Oh no,
sometimes.
it's not you. Oh no, this is not. Oh no,
No,
you're
you
right.
understand? In that situation you get panicked.
Of course you do. Oh no, my drama is worse than a soap opera, really. Peter would know some of my drama. But anyway, they blocked me. So apparently, because putting boundaries in place apparently is childish.
Oh my god.
And
But
I
I want
said,
but I just wanted to say to you personally, and you couldn't maybe see it in your chat tonight. That's why I asked kindly if you could do
that's all right.
that, please.
Yeah.
And
Okay,
I
I've already gone in there. You are now unblocked in my
okay.
channel,
Okay. Cool.
and I need to go and apparently unblock a few other people too.
I have to say, watching Doom's channel, my hair does curl.
Oh my god.
Thank you, Doom, for doing that.
So anyway,
Yep,
but anyway, um,
no problem.
the only question I've got about the whole saga is there a baby? That's my whole. That's the only question I've got.
Joe, I will talk to you on Discord. Okay, I will talk to you on Discord.
Look, I don't
Is
mind.
there or isn't there?
I don't know. I don't think Doom.
I don't have proof one way or the other. So before
Yeah.
people take it out of context, I don't have proof one way or the other. I can't tell you if there is a baby or not. Okay.
Okay, can I ask you one thing? Do you hate me?
No, I don't hate anybody. I
Okay.
don't hate. Hate is a hard word. It's a strong word. I can't hate anybody. I can dislike people, but
Do you
for me
dislike
to
me?
hate you, you have to do something really, really, really stupid.
Do you dislike me?
He probably
No.
doesn't know you well enough
Okay.
yet either, Bella. That's the thing. And he's
Okay.
coming from a different perspective now.
Yeah, I
yeah.
am. I'm trying to make, my amends. I know, a lot of people won't forgive me.
Yeah, I understand what's going
But-
on. I watched you today.
So but yeah, see, I can say I knew Doom when he was Dom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I do know about them.
But as I said, but he was one of my OGs, so one of my original ones, one of my early mods. So,
Yeah, and I would never do anything to hurt Joe because I
Now
love her. I love her.
I'm gonna do something right now for 2 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, I maybe look like a mess in my hair.
Yeah.
Please don't get me wrong. Doom, are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
There we go. There we go. That face.
Okay.
Oh, you don't look more horrible than what I do right now.
But
I'll
I'm
just say
just
that.
saying, you seen me how I am.
Mm.
Maybe you remember those streams then.
I remember who you are. I know who you are. I don't
Yeah.
dislike you. I don't hate you. That was the whole
Yeah.
thing.
I
I
thought
don't
that
have
you
no
did.
ill will towards you.
I thought that you did. That's why.
No.
Did you actually read that stream? Could you see it behind the scenes?
No, I couldn't read what was said behind the scenes.
Okay.
So the other thing is, have you had any fallout from it?
Yes.
Yes, I have.
You know
Yes,
the hogs.
I have.
You know the hoggets.
Yeah.
And one other person.
Oh well, I'm sorry to hear that. I mean, it's
Nobody's seen the true side, and you've seen those clips, Joe.
I've seen.
I know that
I've
you
seen
do
some.
your at the start of the year. You've seen those fallouts from
Yeah.
those people,
Yeah.
and I'm not
I
gonna
know what's going
lie.
on. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. You see everything.
I know.
I actually kind of blame Joe for this one too because she's the one that introduced me to him. Okay, so technically, this is all her fault. Okay, this is all her fault.
Yeah, but hey, I'm not responsible. I just show you. I don't make the decisions for you.
I blame it all on her right now. Okay,
That's all right.
Yeah,
But the
this
thing
is all
is,
her fault.
I watched him at the start as well. I mean, I've watched many of the streams of recent. As I said, I've watched a lot of the streams of recent days as well. I watch everything. I just comment on very little.
Hello, Teresa.
Yes. Can I have your YouTube? I mean, not YouTube. Twitter. If you
Dom's.
want to give it out, because I end up blocking you on there and I can't find it.
What's your Twitter, Doom? Dom? See, everyone's still got
Just Dom to you. It's at just Dom to you.
Okay,
it's very easy.
Can you give it to Joe so you can
I'll put it in the. I'll put it in the.
I can put it in the YouTube.
Oh, you put it in their thing. Yeah,
you
that's
can't
right.
because I blocked you.
Oh no.
Oh well, yeah. Well, now you gotta unblock me.
That's what I'm gonna do, but I can't remember it because there's so many people.
Okay,
that's in the block list.
There we go. Just Dom 2. That's right, isn't it?
Is it?
There you go. I put it in there. Well, minus the little line at the end of it. I can't type with the crap tonight.
That's all right.
I lost all my energy tonight.
Is it just
It's
on?
to you. That's it. Without the line at the end.
Oh, I
Okay,
just realised I wasn't following you, Doom.
thank
What?
you, Doom.
I am
I want
now.
to unblock you, but with the people that were involved,
Okay,
you have
see
to
now
understand.
look at this. Look at this. Okay, I
Oh, I'm just
follow
reading
Jo
the chat.
everywhere she goes,
I
and she
can't
can't
find
follow
it.
me.
I can't follow you because I blocked you.
Oh, I'm just
That
reading.
would.
I'm
I
just
think that's
reading
in
your Twitter where
settings.
you talk about the fact you don't know about whether there's a baby or not. Okay, I'm now caught up.
No,
It's another.
we don't know.
How long before I start my own? We start our own soap opera. I've already got my own soap opera going. The Fox. I could.
And I'm going to clarify one more thing. Due to my ex, I can't have a YouTube of my own.
Okay.
Don't have a YouTube of your own. I'm
He
learning
said
that the
for
hard
me.
way.
They're
He
hard.
said to these people, you know who I'm talking about, the two together, said make one, but I never did.
But anyway. So yeah. All right.
Sorry if I didn't clarify that a full story, but I'll talk to you behind the scenes.
Yep, that's fine. All right.
Okay.
So,
All
All right,
right.
I'm gonna drop down so Jo can
I
get on
am
with her.
too. How do
all
you
right,
do it?
but anyway, I can, if you want me, I can drop. You just end it, or else I can do it. So,
Yeah.
yeah,
You
no,
can
my
do
life has
it.
been a bit of a soap opera in itself. But anyway,
Well,
it's
I'm sorry
important
about
that
that,
you've.
Jo.
I just wanted to say personally, thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Yeah, no problem.
And you understand I was supporting you there tonight.
Yeah, I
Okay.
have you unblocked now, so you can leave comments. You're fine. You're safe.
Do you have the money app as well?
No, I don't.
Okay, because I was trying that tonight.
Yeah, I don't have it right now. To be honest,
I'll talk to you behind the scenes.
Yep.
yeah, to be honest, just keep your money because I don't want the money. I'm just doing this for fun.
Okay.
If I get monetized, do it that way. If I
Okay.
don't, then don't, because I don't want the stigma to look
What?
like I'm a beggar, if that makes sense.
No, I don't. I understand, but I also like to help other people.
What's part of the issue? I think is that when a lot of creators, when they get monetized, and the people that you've been speaking about are an classic example, they change.
Yeah, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. I have to be true to who I am. I do.
So a lot of them change because suddenly they think they've got this power suddenly, and I think, and this is just my own opinion, that's sort of what's happened in that situation. But and then suddenly you get this whole growth of subs, and you think you're on top of the world.
I'm
And
going to say
untouchable.
everything is in my opinion of what I'm saying. And the other thing is that by you going up with Real today was a big step for you. And at least I'm hoping that you got some answers.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, I know that, Fox. And you know what? Like I said, I'm doing my apologies. And unlike a
So
certain
Doom's on
someone,
the apology tour.
Oh,
yeah,
trust
I'm on
me.
the apology tour.
Trust me, he has, but I couldn't. Trust me, he has, but when I comment, I seem like he hasn't been getting them. That's why
Yeah,
I
I
asked him
unblocked you. You're
politely.
safe now.
Yeah, no, that's all right. He's unblocked, but yeah, he's on the Doom's on the apology tour. Sorry, sorry to make light of it, but I just think it's funny. You know me, disaster. I'll find
Yeah, I
something.
know. You'll find humor in anything.
Yeah, I do.
All right.
Even in my messed up life at the moment, it's
Yep.
quite funny actually.
That's why I like you. That's
So
why I
it's no
enjoy
line
you.
it's no line at the end of it, that
Yes, there's no line on
thing.
that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
All
there's no
right.
line.
I just wanted to say that. and I'm gonna drop any second, off
Okay.
live stream.
Yeah,
All right.
I'm gonna drop now. You all have a great evening, great day, great
All right.
weekend, and I hope to see you all again. I'll be
Yeah,
in chat though.
too.
Don't say I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'll be in chat. I'm just dropping down.
All right. Thank you. See you, everybody. All right, see you. Well, I'm not going. All right. I'm back. Yeah. The foxes, when you start to get money, you have to answer to people. That's correct. And we're seeing that in our government. But yes, yeah, Dean's on the apology tour. Short Order Cook wanted to know if it was Neighbours. I tell you what, if I told you my story, the script writers of Neighbours would not believe that it's true. Oh, I tell you, I have bad habits, drinking the worst. I do too. Somebody will be yelling at me, or someone will be really upset with me, and I'll just say something and start laughing. It's like, or I'll just laugh at them because I think it's funny. Or I'll crack a joke. It's like, yeah. But anyway, let's. Do we want to watch a bit of Scomo getting roasted, or do we want to watch some Katie Joy for a bit? Do you want to talk budget? LOL. I don't know, but Elbow for PMs are trending at the moment. The only thing I've taken out of the budget response is that there's going to be money for aged care, which currently there isn't. Is there a difference? Is there a difference, says the fox? I don't know. Oh. Well, Neighbours is being axed anyway. Neighbours is not being made, isn't it? Isn't it ending, finishing at the end of the year? So there'll be more unemployed actors. They can do, and I have to, when I travel from from the eastern suburbs to western suburbs, I have to keep seeing Josh Frydenberg's mug on the big, and I noticed that all his ads are up on top of buildings, so nobody can go and deface them. He has them because I'm half tempted. I'm actually scared of heights, but I'm half tempted to go up and climb up on the roof. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. What is the difference? All right. Oh boy. Yes, it's finishing, but maybe you can give them your story and it will make it. Maybe Short Order Cook. Maybe they wouldn't believe it. They wouldn't believe it. But, a drone mustache. Yeah, maybe I need to get a drone. KJ's not an Aussie, I know, but I tell you what, she'd fit very well in with the LNP though, with the government. To be honest with you, in my opinion. All right, so let's go. We're gonna go to our friendly Geordies. Dream mustache for the signboard. Let's start off with friendly Geordies. And we'll start off with friendly Geordies, our friendly Jordan. All right,
We were going to release a video about Carl Stefanovic's hit job, but then he did a hit job on Scott Morrison today. So we're just going to push that back and be snarky about him next week.
So everyone's turning on the Prime Minister at the moment, even his greatest fans.
Instead, we were going to do one about the budget, but then we realised no one cares. It's sort of, at this stage, just a really boring manifesto that only a few select journalists care about because they're locked into a hall for a few days.
That is true, but the budget got overtaken by this story.
No one, these things have no impact at all because this is an incumbent government that's on its way out. So what do any of these promises matter of, we're going to reduce fuel by 20 cents? No, you're not. You're not going to be in the position to do that. So instead, what we did is, and this was incredible because they were hoping that they were going to get some momentum from the budget to bring back their whole we're good at the economy because look at all of these numbers that no one cares about or looks at. So we must be doing something right? They were hoping to use that momentum to build back their credibility of who do you really trust with your mortgage, right?
All right. Right. He hasn't monetized this video either.
Instead, this senator called Conchetta Fierravanti-Wells, she's some senator, so obviously less famous than your neighbour, but anyway, she went into the Senate on budget night and did a scathing attack of Scott Morrison, called him a bully. Oh.
Now, what was really interesting, and what's not shown on this video that was shown on others, is that that I think it was one of the Green senators said, I'm happy to give her another half hour if she wants to keep her speech going. The senators were really shocked by the speech.
Oh, the project isn't going to like that. So, check it out. There's a lot of very detailed specifics about pre-selection, which I'm sure the average Australian cares about a lot. But other than that, God, it's scathing. There's a little more to this than the headline, Scott Morrison's a bully. It goes into that weird Pentecostal faction that Scott Morrison apparated out of divine miracle, I suppose, and might be a little more about that soon. Maybe. Just watch it.
Acting Deputy President.
All right, so here is the speech that has got everybody talking. Oh, that was... This is a budget that will put us in debt massively next year. They know they will lose, and it's to make the next government look bad. That was Senator Wish-Wilson, was it? Oh, it was hilarious, that comment.
It's an outcomes of the dodgy pre-selection where I lost by a handful of votes last Saturday.
Now, this woman actually has been told, well, by the pre-selection, it's pre-selection, so she's been actually advised that she will no longer be in Parliament after June. So she probably has a vendetta. So, of course, she's not going to be happy.
My time in this place will finish on 30 June 2022. Accordingly, there are a few matters I wish to place on the record before my departure. Many in this place would be aware of the history I have had with Scott Morrison. Let me give some clarity and context to that history so there can be no misunderstanding. In order to understand the man, it is best to look at his past actions. While professing to be a man of faith and claiming centre-right status, Morrison is a product of the left, having worked for Bruce Baird.
Now, what's also very interesting is that she doesn't refer to him as the Prime Minister. She always refers to him as Morrison.
He is adept at running with the foxes and hunting with the hounds.
Hey, the fox! You gotta mention. Running with the fox. Wow, the fox! You're famous. Oh, I'm in the mood tonight.
Let me give some clarity and context to that history so there can be no misunderstanding. In order to understand the man, it is best to look at his past actions. While professing to be a man of faith and claiming centre-right status, Morrison is a product of the left, having worked for Bruce Baird. He is adept at running with the foxes and hunting with the hounds, lacking the moral compass and having no conscience.
She just goes straight out.
His actions conflict with his portrayal as a man of faith. He has used his so-called faith as a marketing advantage. We learnt the leader of his Hillsong church group, Brian Houston, was a mentor to Morrison. Houston recently stood down as head of Hillsong because he was charged with sexual offences. It is noteworthy that in the past, Houston flew top cover for his pedophile father. When Morrison worked for Tourism Australia, he backstabbed his minister, Fran Bailey. Eventually, he was fired from the position. As State Director of the New South Wales Division of the Liberal Party, Morrison honed his manipulative skills when overseeing the Wentworth pre-selection to unseat Peter King.
Oh, she's come straight out with it, hey? The Fox says Scomo wouldn't be allowed in our pack.
About 120 membership applications were rejected to help Turnbull get selected, the person Morrison ultimately backstabbed. Morrison might profess to be Christian, but there was nothing Christian about what was done to Michael Toke. When Morrison made his run for the seat of Cook, there were several hopefuls, including Toke, Fletcher and Coleman. Toke won the ballot on the first round with 84 votes. Morrison got 8 votes. Having lost the ballot, Morrison and his cronies went to Sam Dastyari to get dirt on Toke, who had been in the Labor Party for a period of time whilst at university. This dossier of anecdotes was weaponised and leaked to the media to the point where Toke's reputation was destroyed. I'm advised that there are several statutory declarations to attest to racial comments made by Morrison at the time that we can't have a Lebanese person in Cook.
Whoa!
The state executive voted 12 to 11 not to endorse Toke and ordered a modified selection process.
I mean, if you've got friends, like if this is members of your own party, whoa, let's see what the opposition's got.
The only way that Toke could get political exoneration for a future run was to agree to put his numbers behind Morrison. Morrison met with David Clark and I and promised various things. Of course, he took our votes and never delivered. After the selection, Toke joined my staff. He subsequently also sued the newspapers for defamation. He won his cases, but this was cold comfort. Morrison, his cronies and the Liberal establishment in New South Wales had destroyed a good young man.
Doom says, I'm in bed, I'll put you on the big screen so I can listen to you as I fall asleep. Doom, that's our little secret. You know, people will talk now.
I regret the day that Clark and I agreed to put Morrison into Cook. Since then, Morrison has never faced a pre-selection. Hence the trampling of members' rights in New South Wales and denying them proper pre-selections and installing captain's picks is classic Morrison. He and his consigliere Alex Hawke have deliberately contrived a crisis in New South Wales through a year of delays in not having selections. Hawke, as his representative on state executive for months and months, failed to attend nomination review committee meetings to review candidates, thereby holding up pre-selections.
Hello. The Fox says, Doom. That's what I'm saying, Doom. There'll be all these rumours around now.
Spurious arguments were mounted to justify the unjustifiable. The Constitution was trashed. There is a putrid stench of corruption emanating from the New South Wales division of the Liberal Party.
Interesting.
All of this under the eye of Philip Ruddock. As a former Attorney General, I am appalled that he has allowed Morrison to bully his way to a situation where the next election has been put at risk, all to save Hawke's career. This is what it's all about. Hawke knows that if he faces a plebiscite pre-selection, he will lose. Morrison has railroaded federal executive into setting up a committee which not only endorsed Hawke, Lee and Zimmerman, but a second committee is now endorsing captain's picks in seats like Parramatta and Hughes that were scheduled for pre-selections this week. So,
tell you what, you know what they say about making a woman mad?
What is the hold that Hawke has over Morrison? Good question, especially given Hawke's own corrupt antics in New South Wales. During a speech advocating a federal integrity commission, I referred to Hawke's activities and the dealings of the Baulkham Hills branch. At a meeting in 2018, 10 members were admitted to the branch. This was confirmed in text messages from the branch secretary. Hawke was present at the meeting. He saw what went on. I am told there is video evidence of the meeting. I also have relevant documents, including correspondence sent to Morrison on the issue.
I want those documents. I love this speech. A little more targeted than cell grapes than there's the others from everywhere. Joanne, you're making me laugh so much. Why is it?
After the meeting, The minutes were falsified to show that the 10 members were not accepted. Statutory declarations were provided to counter this falsity. The branch was eventually suspended by state executive. The branch president and secretary, both acolytes of Hawke, refused to provide statutory declarations. Despite clear evidence of fraud, Hawke's role in this process has never been fully disclosed. The New South Wales State Director has sat on this matter for years. Legal proceedings are now on foot, and I look forward to the day when Hawke will be required to give evidence under oath to explain his corrupt conduct.
Oh,
There is a very appropriate saying here: the fish stinks from the head.
the fish stinks from the head. Okay.
Morrison and Hawke have ruined the Liberal Party in New South Wales by trampling its constitution. Indeed, I understand at a federal executive meeting, Morrison was asked whether he was running a protection racket in New South Wales. In recent months, I have kept members of the division updated. I have received hundreds, if not thousands, of emails outlining their disgust. They have lost faith in the party. They want to leave. They don't like Morrison and they don't trust him.
And this is the guy that the guy she's talking about is the guy that's currently running the country.
They continue to despair at our prospects at the next federal election, and they blame Morrison for this. Our members do not want to help in the upcoming election. By now, you might be getting the picture that Morrison is not interested in the rules-based order. It is his way or the highway, an autocrat, a bully who has no moral compass. And now to my own situation. Having lost by a handful of votes last Saturday and having analysed the data, numbers tell their own story. Clearly, my push for democracy in the New South Wales division was certainly not welcome. This would mean that the factional operatives can't control pre-selections.
It's a wonder this place wasn't. It's a wonder that there weren't people coming from everywhere to come and watch this, because I would have been sending out a message to go, quick, get here, quick, 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 quick. It does. It's a bit like that. It has that little bit of touch of that.
For years, figures in the Liberal Party have denied the existence of factions and criticised the ALP. This is hypocrisy, given that the Liberal Party is now no different to the Labor Party. In addition, having been a critic of Morrison on a range of policy matters, I was a marked woman. I have known for a number of years of the machinations involving the PMO and others to move me on. Recent media reports confirmed a deal agreed to by Hawke, Euron Finkelstein from the PMO, Charles Perrottet, Dallas McInerney, Trent Zimmerman and Matt Keane. In my case, Dallas...
Aren't they all men, by the way? It's very interesting. Did you just mention, are they all men?
McInerney from Catholic Schools New South Wales was encouraged to run against me. Realising he did not have support from the Conservative base to win a pre-selection, they resorted to getting Jim Molan to run, despite Molan having promised he would only see out the synodinous term. In my case, Wade McInerney, brother of Dallas, worked in my office for 5 years, following his departure to work for Robert Asaph at Greyhounds New South Wales. I discovered he was engaged in inappropriate conduct and activities. I was duty-bound to refer him to the Australian Federal Police, the Department of Finance and the Australian Government Vetting and Security Agency. Having engaged lawyers and fought hard for a pre-selection, I got it. Because my enemies realised my strong support from delegates meant Plan B had to be implemented. Dom Perrottet's premiership is held together by a thread through a so-called unity deal with the Keane Poulos left. For years, the Perrottets have railed against Hawke, threatening to prosecute the Baulkham Hills matter, but never delivering. The Perrottets, the McInerneys, Asaph, etc., only had about 30 votes between them. In the ultimate act of treachery, those numbers were press-ganged into voting for Hawke's candidate, Molan.
Wow. This gets better the more I watch it.
Why? In short, the so-called Conservative Premier aligned with his so-called enemy Hawke to do a deal. Morrison gets his captain's picks in federal seats and no state members jump ship to the federal arena which would in turn have crippled the premiership of a supine and weak state leader.
Tell us what you really think. That's the point. Oh, a weak state leader. Yeah.
In my public life, I have met ruthless people. Morrison tops the list, followed closely by Hawke. Morrison is not fit to be Prime Minister, and Hawke certainly is not fit to be a minister.
Whoa! That is what she said. Anyway, so we've got this one. Oh, who says politics are boring, hey? Liberal Senator Holly Hughes defends Prime Minister. And play rip. Yeah. What, you really want to come up? Yeah, if you want to. And accuses Conchetta Ferranti-Wells of bullying. So, a Liberal senator has sensationally accused a fellow female colleague of being a bully while defending Prime Minister. When asked directly if Mr. Morrison was a bully, Senator Holly Hughes, who was elected to Senate in 2019, shot back, "No. I've worked with both Scott Morrison and Conchetta Vivanti-Wells, and I know which one I would put in one camp and which is in the other. I support Scott Morrison." So One Nation leader Pauline Hanson and crossbencher Senator Jackie Lambie back Senator for that Wells, with Senator Lambie labelling Mr. Morrison a bully. However, Financial Services Minister Jane Hume said it was an easy accusation for someone who has it in for the government. I can understand why these accusations might be thrown around by political opponents. I can also understand why Connie Vivanti-Wells might be a bit upset. She lost a pre-selection on the weekend in front of hundreds of people. Hundreds of people are telling you you're not the one they want this time around. It's very confronting. However, Senator Vivanti-Wells said she does not believe the pre-selection process was fair, and has gone far as suggesting that there are corrupt forces at play within the New South Wales Liberal Party. A bitter factional brawl has thrown the party's pre-selections into chaos and ultimately triggered a federal takeover. So we know the feds are running the New South Wales Liberal Party, which is interesting because until he can get all of this settled down, I don't think he's going to be able to call the election. So Senator Hughes said Senator Vivanti-Wells had an axe to grind, and the veteran senator only won pre-selection in 2016 after Mr. Morrison and then Prime Minister Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull intervened. She was very happy to take their intervention, their support, when I stood aside for the betterment of the party to ensure that the Minister of the day was on the position and in a winnable ticket. She was happy for that to occur. Now would she have made that speech had she won a pre-selection on Saturday? Senator Vivanti-Wells rejects that. Media reports in recent days that Scott Morrison intervened to save me are incorrect, she said. So there you go. But yes, it's very, very interesting. All right. Can I send you a link? Oh, yeah, okay. Well, that's right. Jackie Lambie was in the army. Didn't he threaten to expose something for it about her? I've heard that he is. I mean, lots of people said he's a bully. I'm waiting for Malcolm Turnbull to come out and say the same thing. So, Yeah, it's very interesting. I tell you, it's going to be a very dirty campaign, I think. Just as well, we've only got it for a few weeks. Although, so. I do, I mean, maybe it doesn't like the CDC because the veterans aren't new. Sorry, I keep yawning. Now, while we're waiting for Peter to come on, let's start our train wreck. All right, so I'm just gonna put up my Katie Joy trigger warning. Just hold on. There we go. My Katie Joy trigger warning. Kevin has something just after his. Yeah, I don't think he needs to say anything because the Liberal Party is self-destructing on their own.
I'm going to wait for a few seconds until some of you join. Hello. Hi, everyone. Okay. Glad to see a few of you showing up. I haven't been live as much. I was like, okay, so today was weird because first off, I had to be a mom and we had to go to the doctor. That was fun. Momming. Anyone else? Working mom? Okay.
See, this is the thing. She's put it out there about the boy.
So then I was going to do some videos on my YouTube, but obviously I got stuck on some other topics. So this is kind of what's been going on, and I just want to share this and just give you a sense of what I've been learning and why I kind of held off on sharing this information. So I'm going to turn off the comments real quick here just because I want to...
Can you hear it? You just missed her talking about having to do mummy duty.
Make sure to give this the sort of seriousness that it deserves. So a lot of people have been wondering like why we're so heavily focused on this group and what is the reason why we have been continuing to share about it on social media. You know that in last month, the Wilkins family came forward and revealed that their daughter Miranda was involved in a group, and they felt like they were basically holding her. They said that she had been abducted, or they felt like she was being trapped by this group. And there has been quite a bit of media attention now. There was an article that came out today by former member Lydia Chung, who shared her opinions and her experience with the church, and sort of giving you guys an understanding of what she went through. Lydia is so brave to share her story. She is also, she went through hell, and what they did to her is horrible. But there's lots of victims here. And something that we were just not talking a lot about, because first of all, when I have been doing my research here, before I report anything, I want to make sure that I can corroborate stories. I want to make sure that I hear...
She wants to corroborate stories. The Fox's single mothers have harder. I know.
I hear this.
It was me. I before now. It's all we. If this takes a legal avenue, you'll have to let us know who the... Well, yes, she will. And I want to know how many she'll throw under the bus. Because we know how quick she threw Swanson under the bus, eh? Oh, yes, single parents. Yes, single parents, the Fox, yeah. So thank you to Lama Girl for continually taking one for the team.
I hear the same story from different people. I want other people to make sure, like, to tell me, like, did this actually happen? Is this a thing? Like, what happened here? What's going on? And every former member that I talked to, there was this huge incident that had happened in 2008. And that actually coincided with Lydia's, like, when she said that she left, and so, in a lawsuit. So there was a lot of rumblings, and a lot of the people that I was speaking to, they were just really traumatized by what had happened in 2008, and they didn't want to speak, or they were overwhelmed by what had happened, and they needed time, and they needed to collect themselves. First off, I wanted to say thank you to those members that have reached out to me, the former members that experienced this and went through.
Thank you for reaching out, former members. I will reveal who you are when it's convenient, because I'm not going to take the blame for this.
I'm really sorry that this happened to you. You did not deserve any of this.
I'm really sorry it happened to you, but you're helping to make me money, so thank you.
And you're going to continue to help other people by sharing your experiences. Before I go into what happened, there's been a lot of questions about why more people aren't coming forward. And right now, I will say that with the people that I'm talking to, their biggest fear is retaliation. So a lot of people are afraid to go public because, one, they're afraid of their businesses being targeted. They have fears for their own safety. They don't know if there's fears of like retaliation against their businesses. They were highly controlled in an environment where they felt like they had no control, and then many of them are alleging that they were abused. So to go out publicly is very hard for them. And so for me, it's not my place to push them and say, you need to come out, you know.
It's not her place to tell people they've got to come out. Doesn't she name drop all the time?
It's not my job to say, you need to go on the record. My job is to, build trust with them and, listen to them and try to be as delicate as possible with their stories. So,
Joanne, I keep watching clips so you don't have to end up other side of the sentence. Oh, delicate? All right. I've had some.
I've been holding back on kind of sharing a lot of the details because, one, I recognize that some of these stories are not just mine. These are not my experiences.
Hang on.
I was not the victim, and the stories are not. I recognize that some of these stories are not just mine.
I recognize that some of these stories are just not mine. They're not your stories. How did you bring it into herself? Have a listen again.
Kind of sharing a lot of the details because, one, I recognize that some of these stories are not just mine.
They're not your stories, full stop. They're not your stories. Stop.
These are not my experiences. I was not the victim in the situation. I was not victimized by this group. But there's also an urgency because there's still this there's still these weird people online that seem to believe that this isn't a cult and that people aren't being hurt. I hear the same.
Oh. Hello, Peter. Oops. Hello, Peter. You there, Peter? Peter? Hello? I love the pause there. People want to come up with... Yeah, so she's saying it's just not her story. Well, she's right. It's not her story. It's not her story to tell. You there, Peter? Ooh. I think KJ wants to be a crime solver. Probably. It's just not my story to tell. Well, it's not your story to tell at all. If people don't want to come out, tell their story, you can't make them. And then you can't go and then tell the story.
And that we should just let these people live their lives. Except there's people that have left this group who are completely and utterly traumatized. The amount of people I've talked to that have been in tears, crying, dealing with the what I can only describe as PTSD.
Oh, tears and crying? Gee, that's me every day.
This group who are completely and utterly traumatized. The amount of people I've talked to that have been in tears, crying, dealing with what I can only describe as PTSD, as this whole, like, they're all of the trauma that they've experienced for years.
Hello, Peter. We'll try again. It's interesting. She's now diagnosed them as having PTSD. So now she knows about mental health, obviously now. Oops. Oh. Peter's having some trouble by the looks of it. Are you there, Peter? Peter!
Hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes. Did you hear what she said? It wasn't just her story to tell, and now she's diagnosed them with PD, whatever it is, PTDS or PTD or whatever.
This woman,
honestly. This woman. Yeah, well, you've
2019, I've been dealing.
PTSD, as this whole, like, they're all of the trauma that they've experienced for years is coming back to them as they are remembering the horrible experiences they went to when they were at this church. And then you have family members that I'm speaking with too.
They're in her what?
From family members. I have family members of people who are the leaders now. So, everyone is so heavily focused on, all these other players that are the bad guys. But the real only bad guy here is Robert Shin.
Hang on. She's saying she has family members?
Well, that's what I was wondering, whether she has.
Her dad worked in some sort of corrections. Her mother, she's never sort of said. Her brother works in science. Where are all these connections?
I don't know, but Toad was making the guitar for his brother.
Oh.
Is that the one that's allegedly in jail?
Oh my God. So Toad plays with a vag every now and again. Whatever. I shouldn't go there. But he started it. I'm going to play it.
All right.
Everyone else is a victim. Robert is the only one, in my opinion, that is the bad guy. Everyone else is doing what he wants. And that's how all the former members are describing it. So even though Daniel looks like a bad guy now, he was once a kid, a 19-year-old that got swooped into this because...
Did you know that he was once a kid?
Really? Holy crap.
And he got swooped.
Swooped?
Swooped. Or was it a magpie that swooped him?
Maybe. He should come to Australia.
Oh, well, then you'll find out what it's like to be swooped. Although it's not magpie season at the moment, which is good. I hate magpie season.
My God, this woman for 4 years, and I'm not joking, before she got on YouTube, I was listening to her rants on Twitter.
Oh, really? She used to go on Twitter.
She was. And she used to go after the teen mums.
Oh, that's right.
And that's how I got into
because
this.
I think that's how Cactus Bill got involved with her too, the teen mum.
It was the teen mum thing. And she would argue with people and I'm right. Oh, but all this shit she's going on. There is 11 people in 7M.
11 people? Hello, totally clueless. Is there only
this? Yes, this massive cult. It's 11 fucking people. Sorry, Joe. It's 11 people. It's 11 people.
We're just looking at her last live, totally clueless. We're just, Apparently, one of the leaders was once a child. Got creeped upon.
But it's 11 people who dance. Yes.
But they all live in
It's this huge cult that's been going on for 12 years. If he only has 11 people after all these years, he's not a cult.
But
he's a foul businessman.
But they all live in these houses together, and they all again. She needs to get out more because everybody has housemates, as you know, in Australia, because we can't afford to live in our own homes on our own.
No, we haven't been able to scam our churches and get them to build our houses for
No.
us. She's
Totally clueless.
Joe, this is why I said to you, I'm really happy to come on and talk about the budget.
Yeah. Oh, no.
Because I can go on all day about
look.
Joey.
The budget. Oh. He was a child with a vision of being a cult leader, though. That's correct, Totally Clueless. That's right.
Yes.
When I grow up, I want to be a cult leader.
Oh.
Because a family friend made him feel like his parents were evil and turned him against his family. And Shirley was a 17-year-old that was in high school.
How many 17-year-olds love their parents? How many 17-year-olds think their parents are evil?
Would you like me to go and get mine right now? I have a 17-year-old.
Why?
Oh my God. Do you know what, Joe? Her child is 10.
I know.
She has not lived through the teenage years.
I know. Wait,
So let's give her grace. Let's give her grace. She
boy.
has not dealt with teenagers. We'll give her grace. We've dealt with teenagers.
Oh boy, I've survived.
Let's give her grace.
Boy,
Let's
but
give
I
her
mean,
grace.
That just shows that she's got no idea.
She
Feel like his parents were evil and turned him against his family. And Shirley was a 17-year-old that was in high school that, had a rough upbringing, and she didn't have the best support systems within her family, and so she came into this, and this is her family. That's the only thing that she knows. And he has been really preying on young people who are lacking support, coming from maybe a little bit of brokenness. There's quite a few people that have struggled significantly with mental health issues or have autism that have been horribly hurt throughout this process. And
she has to throw autism into everything. Isn't that what the church does, though, is take broken people and help them rebuild their lives?
I think it's anything. It's not just a church. It's any organisation.
Oh, that means
when someone reaches out for help.
Yeah.
Someone is reaching out for help because something is broken. And it doesn't have to be massively broken. It's just not working.
The foxes, I would worry about the 17-year-old who didn't think their parents were evil.
Yes. Fox, I'm with you. I'm with you. I made my child take a rat test at 6 a.m. this morning.
Oh.
The fact that I got him up at 6 a.m. pissed him off. But hello, I have to go to work. I need to know if you're positive before I go.
The other person on the panel is Peter, or without a lawyer, or without a sponsorship, or without whatever. Insert whatever you like.
Yeah, I came on to talk about the budget.
I know you came on, but now we're talking about KJ.
Yeah.
It's sad because they didn't feel like they had, for years, a lot of these people felt like this is just what it was. There was never going to be justice. There was never going to be anyone to expose what happened. There was never going to be a space for them to share their stories. So...
And then a hero, and there's a hero!
I'm holding out for a hero for the rest of my life.
Yeah, that's right. Let's start the music. Is that where she's going?
If you can imagine holding on to all of that trauma for such a long time, and then it's all out publicly now.
Oh, I love your laugh.
Trying to decompress and be like, wait a minute, this is really happening.
Oh, decompress as opposed to compressing? I've just messed this up.
No, she's going into Mrs. Hog speak. You just change.
This is good. This is taking a number. Who's controlling my computer?
You just take words and you just jumble them up, and hey, that's good enough.
Now, and then you've got all these people saying, well, everyone needs to come forward, and they're still trying to like decompress and be like, wait a minute, this is really happening. We're finally getting this out there. And then it's, how do we do this the right way? Because as soon as someone goes public, they become a target of this group, and then they also have to navigate that negativity that they've spent such a
hello, Will.
long time getting away from. With that,
and yet they've come to you.
Being said, the people that I've talked to that are survivors of this group, and also the family.
Oh, they're survivors now.
There's 11 people in the group.
Survivors.
Like, how many survivors are out there?
We don't need another hero. I was going to put my Wonder Woman on.
We should all go out to Silverton, out the back of Broken Hill, and do Tina friggin' Turner. We don't need another hero.
Actually, I'm going to Port Augusta. I'm going to get close.
Oh, okay.
Family members that have lost family. I have spoken to so many family members from all the different people that are involved in this, from people that were formerly in it to people that were in it, and the one thing that's permeating is the sadness.
This is like comedy.
Bullshit.
To people that still have family members in it, and the one thing that's permeating is the sadness.
Permeating, is that like when you put the perm stuff in your hair? I've lost it. I've lost the plot.
We're going with the frizzy curl this week.
We're still spouting the same rubbish or backtracking. Have been on holiday and decided not to be on YouTube. Twitter is 12 hours away. It was lovely, but you missed us, right? Totally clueless.
Because there are sisters and brothers and moms and dads and cousins and grandparents that miss their loved one.
And birds and bees and flowers and trees.
And the girl in the coffee cup. Don't forget the girl in the coffee cup.
I know, I was looking for that clip, so I can't find it. I toss my words in the air and you'll make it make sense. That's why her story's so hard to grip. This is a high curl frizz.
That their loved one has cut them off, blocked them, will not speak to them, will not interact with them.
Oh, that happened to me just yesterday. By a friend who I put boundaries in place. They cut me off. They refuse to speak to me. They want nothing to do with me. Does that mean that they're in a cult?
Oh, look. Miranda's family. Miranda did it to her family. But guess what? KJ, where's your family?
Well,
why are they not supporting? The last time her mother responded to one of her posts was when she went after the guy she accused of raping her.
Yeah.
Her mother commented. That was the last time her mother ever commented on one of her posts. Ever.
Yeah. What did her mum say?
Hey?
Did her mum support her or?
Oh, she just said it was a hard time for you or something like that. But that was when that whole thing came out and she was doing the whole... That was the last time I had ever seen her mother comment on anything publicly.
Yeah, interesting.
So her mother has not commented since. Well, even though her dad keeps up on the Duggars, apparently.
Apparently so.
Well, apparently.
Maybe that's the only way they see her, by watching their videos.
Maybe.
Interact with them, will not return their calls, will not return their emails. This is not just Miranda ignoring her family. This is Daniel not contacting his family. It's Shirley not contacting her family. It's him.
Maybe they're busy working.
Maybe their families are assholes.
Maybe there's that as well. But I'm saying, what happens when you're working and you're working really hard? You don't have time to call people.
Or you're making it big and your family is like, hey, you're making it. Do you have dollars? And they're
That's
like,
right.
yeah, no, piss off.
You only
You're
get
only
it.
after, yeah, you're only after me now because I'm making dollars.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Anna not talking to her sisters. It's
Oh, no.
there's
Someone's not talking to their sisters.
Prissy, there's Priscilla, there's all these different people that
Oh, Priscilla, Queen of the Desert, every time. Oh, dear.
have cut off family. And the one common denominator is Robert Shen. He has convinced them, as Lydia said, that the outside world is satanic and they can trust no one. That their family members are Satan and evil.
And this is all based off court documents from
Yeah.
13 years ago.
Yes, that's right. Maybe, Joanne, maybe they're doing something more important like playing Fortnite. Well, maybe they are.
So
They could be dancing.
with that being said, thank you to all of you that are trusting me with your stories. Thank you to those of you for opening up to me.
I will be publishing your names when you upset me. We know what she does with DMs.
I'm worried about the one she said that were touching her.
Oh, really?
Ooh. Stop. Don't touch.
Totally Clear says, I haven't spoken to one of my brothers in 4 to 5 years. Must be in a cult.
I'm going to share this because in 2008, this story has been circulating, and I was like, well, I need to actually get this out here. So,
A 2008 story. Wow.
apparently this is what happens. So Robert was in, so this is coming from at least 4 former members, okay? And I got different variations, but they all had sort of the same story. I had to like tease through because
I had to embellish to make it sound like it was correct.
they believed him. But this is what happened. So Catherine, according to one of the members,
Of course, we're telling somebody else's story.
was allowing girls that, well, I guess it starts back for further years. This is what the member said. Wanted to divorce her.
This is what the member said, not
Robert had
her.
been married to Esther, and Esther,
So she's saying, don't blame me if you don't like it, because I'm only telling you the story.
he decided he wanted to divorce her. The former member said that Robert then decided that he was interested in starting relationships with some of these other women that were in the church. The issue is that Robert was in his mid to late 40s, and these women were like 20, 19.
Oh, no. Hollywood! Isn't he in Hollywood? That's what they do, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So nothing exciting so far. Look at the face.
21, girls that were barely adults that
Girls that were barely adults. So they were probably 19.
Yeah, well, she's saying 2021.
Yeah, this is...
But 18, you're officially adult. I know it's different in the US because you can't drink till you're 21, but in Australia, you know?
I ain't coming on here and telling you what I did at 21. But
I got married at 21.
Yeah, I did. And it was fun.
Charlotte Order Cook says, doesn't that make
Roast me?
21 makes them adult, yeah. Yeah. Thank you, Bella, for your sticker.
But by the same token, too, Joe, my whole life is sitting there and I have young people and I'm training them and so forth. And I'm moving them through that phase. And you don't judge someone between the ages of 16 and 24. They make bad decisions. They make good decisions. They learn.
That's right. Well, we all do stupid things, don't we?
Yes. Yes, and I have seen that so much in my job.
So, this says, I love that she reports something as bad as murder happened in 2008. You can't realise that's the same time when Robert got called out in church. In the KJ world, that must be a normal thing.
Folks, my first drink, I'm actually only on my second because I got home late tonight, so I'm good.
Girls that were barely adults that knew next to nothing about the world and were relying on him and looking to him as like a father and like a
Who knew next to nothing in the world? Who knows what they're doing at the age of 2021?
next to nothing about the world and were relying on him and looking to him as like a father and like a spiritual leader. And he had, according to the source and multiple former members, about 4 or 5 women that he was sort of grooming. They were giving them presents. They were taking them out to go on shopping trips. And then the girls were seen going into a locked room with him where he would say that he was getting massages from them. And he would claim that only the best hands, according to the former members, could touch him because only certain hands with the best massage skills could touch the holy man. And
well, I must say, there's nothing worse than getting a bad massage.
I'm right with you. Like, only the best hands touch me. Come on, Joe. We have standards, and
we do have standards. Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Yes.
I must be a cult leader.
We're leading the cult at this stage. Only the best hands touch us.
Well, because I'm doing online dating at the moment, and I tell you, no one touches me.
I'll just deviate right there. Yeah. Joe, you are so game. I am not going there. I have
online dating. It's been a very interesting experience. Maybe I might share it one day, but although at the moment I'm attracting people that seem to only want one thing, and that's not even on the table. So
but, Joe,
they're going home very disappointed.
Joe, I admire you so much because you're probably more closed and down-guarded than I am, and I will not do it. I will not do it.
Yeah,
and I give you kudos, girl.
The person who just blocked me is one of those who's I have to give you the other. I'll have to give you another. Yeah, it's just very interesting because I got blocked because Tinder isn't actually dating. It's not Tinder.
Oh.
Do Tinder.
Oh, I've never gone Tinder.
Do Tinder.
No, I don't
no. At the moment, I seem to be getting 60-year-olds and 70-year-olds. What do you reckon they want with a 40-year-old? They want me to join a cult?
Well, rack up your credentials and then maybe get a sugar daddy.
Maybe.
Like 60, 70. Maybe they're lecturers at universities.
Well, there was a guy that told me today that he lives
passive incomes
with fruit trees. He lives on his own with fruit trees and he's a bit lonely. And I went, oh, that's nice.
Do you like grapes and oranges?
I'm just like, this one I think was 67, and I'm going, oh, I don't know. Do I really want another child?
But by the same token, too, does the man take Viagra and does it work? Because apparently Todd's on in his 50s and it don't work.
Doesn't it? I don't know. Well, the guy that's been...
Katie did a whole stream on the fact that freaking her husband has erectile dysfunction.
Oh,
who does that? To their husband? I hate my ex-husband, but I would not put that shit out there. Who puts on the internet their husband has erectile dysfunction? Oh no, she's lost it. Sorry, Joe.
That's all right. Yeah, everyone wanted to laugh, didn't they?
Who does that?
Oh boy.
Who goes on the internet and says on the YouTube channel, my husband has erectile dysfunction? But
Cal, I'm
then
just
I'm
stopping.
joyfully unavailable anyway, and it's like you're not helping his erectile dysfunction by being joyfully unavailable.
That's right. Well, that's why he probably needs to go on other sites. Online dating is mainly for not physical. Well, I'm discovering that, Cal, but that's not on my agenda. Do you think she told it means eating disorder? Maybe. All right, let's get back to this.
And touching the holy man was, a blessing. Behind closed doors, what was happening was apparently inappropriate contact between Robert and these women. And one of the former...
She was giving him a massage.
That just came back in the wrong moment.
She's talking about. She's saying that he had a happy time at the end. She.
Oh my God, Joe.
Is that what she's getting to?
And these women, and one of the former individuals said that he was promising that he was going to marry these women, that they would be the next woman of God as long as they would do things for him. So Catherine apparently knew this was going on, but she was sort of just letting it slide. But apparently there was an argument between Catherine and Robert around her daughter and the way that Shirley or someone was treating her daughter, who was a mentor. There is a tier and a hierarchy in this group. So there's Robert, then there's mentors, then there's sub-mentors, then there's church members. And so as you move up and you're more committed and have more power, you're all under Robert and they're all doing what Robert says. But the mentors are kind of dictating what the people that are following them are. So with Miranda, I was told that Chloe is her mentor right now, and she might be, and Chloe's mentor is Hannah. So she
actually isn't Chloe Shin's daughter the one that she just said that has nothing to do. Like she said that he abandoned his kids, but isn't Chloe one of his kids?
Oh no, they're the ones in Canada.
Oh, I don't know. Who Australia be? Australia must be one massive cult. Yeah, we're one massive cult.
She's getting sort of like indirectly mentored through Hannah. That makes sense. And Hannah is the one.
Nothing you say makes sense.
Do you know what?
What?
You can take this back 4 years ago and you can relate this to anything she says. Massive cult, this teen mum, there was a massive cult.
Oh, everything's a cult, yes.
And the whole shit with teen mum started a little bit with Cal Lowry, a little bit with Janelle Evans, but the biggest thing that started it was her with Ashley Siren, who started the Without a Fucking Clue group, which Tina took over, or Steve took over, then Tina took over, and this woman everything has been a fucking cult.
Oh yeah, I mean,
it's 5 people, it's 6 people, it's 700 people. It's a cult. My God. I don't hate the woman. I'm frustrated with this woman.
Oh boy! All right, let's see what else she's got to say. Oh.
Yeah, go. Yeah, let's go.
I bet you this is the best way you've all got through KJ, hey? With Peter and I, our running commentary.
Oh, don't even go there.
Once he confessed to this, left the church. So the 4 victims that he was doing this to, they decided to leave. And he then apparently tried to downplay what happened with those that stayed. And so those that stayed kind of just believed that it was just the young girls throwing themselves at him. And it was all nothing. It wasn't a big deal. It was much to do about nothing. And that was kind of like it. So he then, Shirley stayed with him for a period of time, said the people that stayed. And then she eventually was removed by Robert. She started working a lot, and Robert just didn't want her anymore. So he replaced her very abruptly with Hannah. Hannah was loyal to him and decided to stay with him, so he promised apparently to reward her for her loyalty. By the way, her sister was one of the victims. So her sister was one of the women that was the massages, and she had been previously victim.
His sister's one to give him massages. How does that make you a victim?
Do you know what this exactly sounds like? Have you watched the Jeffrey Epstein thing on Netflix?
No, I haven't.
And it's all about the massages and the girls coming. Yep. It's, do you know, it sounds, she's trying to put it up there. Like, it's Jeffrey Epstein. We brought these girls in. They were doing exotic massages. They were underage.
Okay, yeah. 2008, short order cook. 2008, I think she's talking about this stuff. Yep. Young girls giving massages. The man is a family man. Well, maybe he likes to keep it all in the family. I don't know.
I'm going to be really crude here, and I'm going to go back 15 years ago, and I'm going to say that 15 years ago, there was a lot of girls giving hand massages to people.
There was.
And what they wanted to achieve is up to them.
Well, that's the thing. And the other yeah, she's trying to do an Epstein. Yeah, I didn't follow that very much, but look, it sounds like, I mean, it's just, if there is stuff that's happening, the way that she's doing this is taking away all the power to all the people. That's
Absolutely. No. And Joe, that is absolutely right. What she's doing is she's tying all these stories in and trying to relate them back. But it loses its power.
Well, we're making a joke of it. And we shouldn't be joking about this stuff if it's true. But it's because it's, I mean, but how much of what is being said is true and how much is embellished?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. And so the short order cook says she disempowers people. Correct. You know, and that's the sad thing.
Mm-hmm.
Robert through that, according to the people that I spoke to. And so her sister left, but Hannah stayed. And that happened with multiples. There was another group of sisters, and one of the sisters was a victim, and two of the sisters stayed. So, and then those people went on to become victims as well, according to the former members. So he has had this sort of pattern of using his position of power to justify these inappropriate relationships.
Sounds like our government. It sounds like our politicians. Hey, did you hear that the woman that made accusations against Alan Trudge? She's got a huge payout.
Oh, yes. Yes. And this is why I said to you, I'm happy to come up and talk about the budget.
Politics, yeah. No, but I'm just saying what she's describing could be our federal government at the moment.
Exactly. Scomo. It's a church. It's Hillsong. It's right there in the background. We've got all these unexplained shit in the background, and
Oh, that's right. The prayer room. It's the prayer room. That's right. There's lots of praying done in government and parliament.
it's Joe. She's stretching.
She is stretching, but I'm just saying I've just stopped it there. She's essentially describing the prayer room at Parliament House.
Exactly.
So he has had this sort of pattern of using his position of power to justify these inappropriate relationships, and he has a specific type that he likes. So all of these members
tell me a man who doesn't have a specific type. Okay, KJ, you're out of the fucking realm. Oh, sorry, Joe, but you're out of the realm. Tell me a man who does not have a specific type.
Most of them do have a specific type.
So do women.
Women have a specific type. Yes.
Exactly.
are deeply affected by this, and I know that
look at the eyes rolling around.
There's so much more to what I'm saying. I'm very high level. I'm sure Robert will deny this.
She's very high level. What does that mean?
There's so much more to what I'm saying. I'm very high level. I'm sure Robert will deny this, and he has a right to deny this. I'm simply sharing, like, this is what these members said. I'm sure Robert will say that that's not what happened. I was just maybe inappropriate or whatever it is. End of the day, if
you are inappropriate. Yes, that's correct.
Pastor, you should not be sleeping with your parishioners, and you shouldn't be abusing your power to get people to sleep with you or to give you sexual favors.
I'll stop here right there. From what she said about Toad, he has no idea of what sexual favors are.
Oh, okay. Oh, sorry, short order cook. You got Ralph is amazing how she's only repeating her sources, no proof. Yeah.
So alleged.
Oh,
okay.
Alleged.
So why this matters now is because the former members don't feel like he has stopped. They feel like he's probably on the same trajectory. And there's deep concerns that Miranda is targeted.
But it's not about Miranda.
What about Miranda?
A specific look. He likes them to have their hair short. They go through a process where they cut their hair and they have them dye their hair. She's getting
Hey, if I can get a free haircut and my hair colored, where do I sign?
A lot more attention than the other women, and she's also being mentored through Hannah.
Didn't you say Chloe before? Didn't you say Chloe before? And then Chloe was mentored by Hannah?
There is deep concern for those that have been traumatized and hurt through this process that this hasn't stopped, and they want it to stop. And it's going to take time for those people to come forward. But if
you watching the eyes just rolling from side to side,
you think that the story's going to get old or die because you're not getting a new family member that speaks out, I can't tell you that's not how stories work. You can't
That's not how stories work. Well, tell us. Free coffee. Will, free coffee.
Will, I've given you a recipe for Vietnamese coffee.
Oh, he
Go
wasn't
there.
Here.
Oh, 3 shots espresso, and then put it over ice and top up with sweetened condensed milk.
And mine is
that's espresso. A new cult recipe.
Espresso and ice cream. So there you go. You got two.
Or combine them.
Or combine them. Oh, and then put cream on top.
And make a mega cult.
Put cream on top. Whipped cream. Oh, we're going there now, aren't we?
We're going there.
Force people to speak out. I can only come out and tell you what they're telling me, and then what they're telling me I can share. You know, I'm not sharing things that are not. I'm not sharing things that like they're saying you can't say this. You know.
I bet she's trying to get them on to go live on her stream. I bet she's saying to them, "Well, if you ever want to talk about it, just get it out there."
They're saying, yes, you can say this. This is what happened. This is my experience. I want this to stop. I wish I could have pressed charges. No charges were filed. Nobody.
Because giving messages that make people happier isn't illegal, right?
No, at the end of the day, nothing was filed because they found nothing wrong with this fucking group.
But what I'm saying is that, but massages where people end up happy, is that illegal or not?
Well, I don't know, Joe. I've never gone and got one, but
I don't know.
But you'd have to assume that if you paid for it at the end of the service, you've agreed that you've got the service.
Well,
so.
otherwise you'd have to go to fair trade and go.
Exactly. And if it's within a cult situation, if you didn't agree with it, you'd have to go to some sort of fair work and say, is that not part of my job? Do I really have to do that at the end of my day? And they go, no.
I mean, you've only got issues if they're under legal age. And she said that they were 20s. So, giving them messages. Anyway.
This is still so much what she went back to all these years ago. Yeah. She just pulls up crap and throws it out there, and she's hoping something sticks.
Yeah.
And it's just like,
and
this is not sticking. This is not sticking.
The other thing is, if it's in the confines of the home, we used to say how people get their jollies.
Exactly. Exactly, Joe.
If it's consensual and they're both adults, then there's nothing that's the problem, right?
No. Oh my God.
Sued him for this. He was never arrested for this. So from a criminal standpoint, he did not break the law. So that was sort of the confession of what broke the church up, apparently, according to 4 separate members I spoke to. So Robert now has a new influx of people, and they're very naive, and he's cut many of them off in the same way that these previous people have been cut off. And then he has these other people that have been in for 20 plus years now that are his little puppets. And so he's kind of like their puppet master. And it's...
Oh, dear me. Oh, here we go.
Watching this play out on social media, and you're seeing videos of B-Dash and Miranda trying to act like everything is normal when we know it's not. And
how do you know? How do you know what's normal and what's not?
Now we come back to Australian friggin' politics. We have our politicians doing this shit, and we don't know what is true. Oh my God.
His membership. She may have done. Totally clueless. Wonder if those 4 people were unhappy and not being in a good massage group.
They didn't get the happy ending.
They didn't. They didn't.
The members, and they're yelling at me. I mean, Concrete has been in my comments multiple times, yelling at me, saying that I'm lying, and then
How can someone yell at you in comment?
and they're yelling at me. I mean, Concrete has been in my comments multiple times, yelling at me, saying that I'm lying, and then I say to him, like, why don't you go ask your pastor about these alleged sexual allegations, please?
Because they're in the past and nothing came of them. Shall we have a talk about? Oh, let's have a look. The tardy. Let's go back and have a look at the tardy stuff, or dig through her. Also, the Fox just says he's glad there's no cameras at his place. The Fox, I don't want to know.
Yeah, that's what the Fox
I don't
thinks.
even know.
What does the Fox say?
Yeah, he thinks there's no cameras.
If
We're watching
the
you,
other
boy.
members, I don't know if they're actually the ones that are posting, because former members have said that their emails were hacked, their phones were hacked, they didn't have access to their phones.
We're back to the hacking again.
They wanted to leave. They were put in isolation. I mean, one person described having to escape in the middle of the night. So you have to realize that this isn't like, we're not making this up.
It's totally the truth, Mum. They had to go at the middle of the night. Oh, I'm not making it up, Mum.
That's what it sounded like.
Mum, I'm not telling you lies.
I'm not telling you lies. Oh boy.
Oh, sorry.
Like, we're not making this up. And I hope people understand that this is a very serious situation. We want the authorities to do something about this. We want the IRS to step in. We would love the FBI to investigate.
What are they going to investigate?
Call FBI Steve. Steve FBI. Steve FBI. Come and save me.
But if they investigated in 2008 and there was nothing to press charges with, then there's going to be nothing to charge now, right?
Yeah.
So why are they wanting the police to get involved on something that was not a crime?
Because she's full of shit.
We would love the LAPD to investigate. And right now, all we can go off is like the hearsay. And until a victim reports a crime, like,
hang on,
force
Joe. She wants the LAPD to investigate.
Yeah.
Didn't she do this a couple of years ago?
I've only been following her since just before the Tardy stuff.
With Shane Dawson and...
Oh, I think she did something. I think there is something.
And she did the whole contact Sergeant Payne and...
Oh, yes, she did do something like that.
Oh, yeah. And she did. It's like, go and get this officer, and he'd retired.
That's right.
Yeah. Why bring it up now?
But what she's interesting, something she just said then, is that until someone makes a crime, and until someone makes a report, it's just hearsay. She's correct. She's making all these videos on hearsay evidence. Hearsay. There's no proof. Listen, I took it back a bit.
And until a victim reports
See?
Is like the hearsay, and until a victim reports a crime, like, we can't force an investigation. We can ask, but I know the issues for multiple family members have been, well, you're not the victim, so you can't report the crime. And then if they go there and he's got them brainwashed to saying that nothing's wrong, it's like a catch-22.
It's the same as in situations in homes. You report something and they go, oh, nothing's wrong. There has to have been a crime committed, KJ.
And there's mandatory reporting.
That's right.
So somewhere along the line, there has to be mandatory reporting.
Well, that's right. So somebody would have had to, well, particularly now in Australia, we have definitely we have to report everything.
Yeah. It's pretty much every state. Anyone over the age of 18 is responsible.
Yep.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just so she's just admitting that everything's based on hearsay. So she's got FBI. Someone's told me a story. You need to go investigate. Where's the proof? Oh, but they told me.
And she has FBI Steve.
That's right.
Her contact.
Well, FBI Steve's not doing his job then, is he?
No, FBI Steve needs to be stood down.
He does need to be stood down. That's right.
He needs to just go back to the PD and
Yes,
just
he
be a
does.
police detective. And
Nothing's wrong.
Yeah, well, people won't admit that there is anything wrong. How many people do you know in DV situations that will tell you nothing's wrong? And you know it's wrong, but until they admit and they ask for help, you can't do anything.
Like a catch-22. So that's where we are. Allegedly, opinions, facts, whatever. That's my interviews with the people. And then in regards to like all of their fake like spammy hate accounts, I'm not paying attention to a lot of that. I'm also not paying a whole lot of attention to me being the bad guy here. If this wasn't a real story, the Rolling Stone would have covered it. The Sun wouldn't be interviewing Lydia. You wouldn't have the Daily Mail covering it. You wouldn't have Business Insider is presently doing a humongous investigation. Like,
love the fact that she's just mentioned a whole pile of rag magazines that I wouldn't even use which aren't even good enough to touch my bottom.
it's humongous.
Humongous.
It's humongous.
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 they interviewed me. They're interviewing other people. I know the New Yorker.
Then she's been interviewed. Did you just hear that? Listen.
Like, they interviewed me. They're interviewing other people. I know the New Yorker or the New York Magazine is.
There you go. She's then will I be famous?
Do you know what? Wouldn't the funniest thing be that at the end of the day, they interviewed her and then they bring this whole story out and they go, this YouTube blogger brought this whole thing out and she was fucking crazy. I shouldn't swear. She was damn crazy and she got it so wrong and she's a mess.
Oh, look,
That would be hilarious.
There seems to be questionable behaviour going on here, but as I said, I can't take it seriously.
No.
I can't take it seriously. We're making a mockery.
New Yorker or the New York Magazine is doing a huge piece on this as well. So there's multiple outlets that are doing this, and like literally every production company in the world has contacted me. I swear, like
in the world.
Okay, well, listen to it again. Sorry.
This as well. So there's multiple outlets that are doing this, and like literally every production company in the world has contacted me. I swear, like they all want this out there.
God damn. And Lachlan Murdoch came to Australia and all he could bitch on was friggin' refugees.
That's right.
It was about refugees in Australia. In the world.
In the world. They into it.
This girl is out of touch.
Well, you got to leave your house to be part of the real world, don't you?
So, with the kinds of crimes that are happening with, like, you have to either be a witness to it, like, so you have to physically see that the crime happened, or you have to be the victim. And if you're not witnessing the crime and you're not seeing the physical abuse, you can't, like, report it.
And you haven't got the hint yet. Oh dear, that's why no one's listening to you. Not even FBI Steve's paying attention to her anymore.
Oh, she cracks me up, Joe.
You could, like, it's tricky because they're adults. If they were children, it would be so much different. think you need to stop talking about how more and more people need to speak up. I think the more comments that we see, like it just needs one or more two people to speak up to turn this into a Harvey Weinstein situation.
Oh, there we go! You hit it!
Underestimating, like
You hit the nail on the head. You even touched the edge. There we go.
more people need to speak up. I think the more comments that we see, like it just needs one or more two people to speak up to turn this into a Harvey Weinstein situation. Again, it's underestimating like the severity of the trauma that these people have. I hope in time that these people will come forward, because I feel like when you hear their stories from their own mouths, you'll be as emotionally like impacted as I have been. But they have to work through their trauma, and they have to get comfortable doing it.
How has she been emotionally impacted?
I don't know.
Was she pulled away to some dance cult?
No. And the other thing, the interesting thing is,
And quite honestly, I've seen her dancing.
But if they wanted their story told, why didn't she give them her platform to tell their story in their own words?
Exactly, Joe.
So if somebody wants to tell me a story or wants to share, reveal something, I'm more than happy to give you my... See you, Cal. I would be more than happy to give over my platform to have that story come out rather than regurgitating it.
Yeah.
Because
But she is just like, this happened to me, use my platform, and it's like, who's using it?
yeah.
No one. No one except those parents and that family.
Look, from what I can work out, it's the parents aren't happy. The daughter left home. But according to the Miranda, they've had some meetings, they've had some get-togethers, but essentially she's not coming home, and so they've had a bit of a dummy spit, and so they're now getting back at this, and it started out what was a private. Well, to me, it should have been a private family matter. It has now become this bigger than Ben-Hur thing, and now we're dragging up history from the past. Gee whiz.
No, I'm with you. I'm exactly with you.
That's my understanding of it.
I don't know if Ronan Farrow, I don't know if he's the one that's working on it. I just know that the New York Magazine is working on one. And I know that the Hollywood Reporter was also looking into it.
Of course, she knows who's reporting on it.
It has, and that's another thing is, like, as we're getting information that's coming out, their email accounts of these peoples are getting hacked. Someone was saying that they feel like they've been gang stalked. Like, there's just so many unknowns.
When's she going to start getting hacked again?
Yeah.
Like, it's already happened.
Has it?
Yeah, that happened on the weekend.
Oh, did it? See, I'm missing all the good stuff.
On their own terms to disclose. Thank you.
Oh, here we get into the coffee line. Apparently they drink coffee. Here we go. Australia's a cult.
So the biggest thing that feels a lot like NXIVM to me, outside of, like, they don't have branding, right? So they're not branding the girls, and they're not, like, putting a brand on the girls. But
every time you think about branding, I'm thinking about, the farmers and the sheep, and they've got their brand, and they put it on the coals, and they brand the animals. She says they don't have branding.
That's exactly what I'm thinking, Joe. They've got this hot iron and they're just about to go.
Yeah, that's right.
Burn the ignorant.
Oh, yeah. We're just ignorant Aussies, eh?
Must be.
So the biggest thing that feels a lot like NXIVM to me, outside of, like, they don't have branding, right? So they're not branding.
I actually thought she said brandy.
The girls, and they're not, like, putting a brand on the girls. But in a sense, there's a level of collateral because you're giving personal details about your life to someone. And so you're sending weekly emails to your pastor who is then using that against you when you want to leave, or,
KJ, we, to interact in society, have to give our personal details out every single day. How many times do you have to say your name, your address, your date of birth to get some interaction?
Mm-hmm.
Day.
placing you in isolation or taking away.
Well, yeah, people are being placed in isolation at the moment if they've got the dreaded COVID.
Privileges from you if you don't obey. I know that a private investigator did look into it from Miranda's side, but a lot of the stuff that's coming out now is stuff that they weren't privy to because former members hadn't spoken out yet.
Bullshit. I'm sorry. Bullshit.
That's right. Fox, driver's license, bank account, everything. We interact every day giving out private information.
I was like kind of shocked about the copy too. I didn't even realize that was like like anything specific. Basically, what the former member said was that so Robert doesn't they teach about not having to spend money, and they think that wasteful spending is wrong. And so instead of eating out, the church has a Costco membership. Not weird at all. I mean, lots of churches have them, and
lots of people have them.
So they make their special coffees at home, and this is a recipe that they like.
I've got a coffee machine. I make my own coffee at home to save me money. How many?
Can I just complain? We can't be part of a Cotton Darwin because we don't have Costco.
Oh, you don't have Costco? We've got two of them.
I don't have Costco.
I've got two of them. I haven't been to either of them.
What's
this about making it? What's the big thing about saving money? That they don't like spending money and eating out. Who can afford to eat out these days?
Oh my God. I sold my kidney to fill my car this afternoon.
How is that news?
I don't know if I go to that restaurant, they send me my kidney back. But for fuck's sake, this woman lives in a friggin' bubble.
She does. I like Seinfeld's bubble boy.
She doesn't. Joe, this has been 3 years of she does not get shit.
Yeah. Look, as I said, what she's trying to tell me is a cult is everyday living here.
But it's not just a cult. It's everything she projects.
Yeah, because
it's
a married couple living with a single person. Yeah, it's called house sharing. People do it to save money. Hello.
Today, she comes online and goes, I have to be a mum.
Yeah.
And you've been one for 10 years. Why did today it was such a revelation? You had to be a mum.
I know.
I've been one for 25 years. I don't come on YouTube and go, today I had to be a mum. This woman is weird.
Yeah.
She's weird. Let's go. Let's keep going.
That's right. No, I've pressed play.
But using collateral in the terms of private information to expose someone and then taking away their information when the copy sounds really sweet is what I think. I don't know. Just sounds like a lot of sugar.
If you go, I remember going to Indonesia and asking for a coffee, and I tell you what, that I swear that they poured. And even the bread has sugar in everything. So don't go overseas, KJ.
Oh, you got the poo coffee. I bet you got the poo coffee.
Probably.
But that's good. It's expensive.
that they put in is a Kirkland brand.
What does that mean? That's an Aldi brand. Kirkland is Aldi.
The Kirkland brand. But when I saw how much agave they were putting in, and like, which is straight sugar, and then you have all of the syrup, I was like, oh my god, that must be so sweet.
We need a stronger word than weird. Bizarre? What's an Aussie word for weird? Deranged? Alright.
Just at Costco and like dispersed to the groups.
Oh no. Oh, the Costco.
We can't put an Aussie word for weird because you'll be banned.
Oh, yes.
A lot of the groceries are purchased at Costco and like dispersed to the groups, or they use the Costco membership and then they like buy in bulk and then the bulk is distributed to different houses. That's kind of what they said.
Good for them.
Co-op?
Yeah, good for them.
Dong beater. I don't know how to spell. So this is what makes them a cult, because they go buy in bulk and then distribute it to their neighbours, isn't it? Is that what it is? She obviously has everything she's describing to me is an Aussie way of life. Is
Who
what
the hell doesn't take advantage of bulk discounts?
No. Like, you go to Costco and you'll buy a few things and then you'll distribute it out to people. A bit like when me, my mum, and my auntie used to go down. Yeah, that's right. You do it and then you all divide it all up and Bob's your uncle. You know? Well, I do actually have an Uncle Bobby. He's my...
Costco is now a cult.
There we go. And so's coffee.
It's a lot of caffeine, and apparently Robert doesn't like women that are overweight, and so weight and appearance are a huge part of things for him. He likes them to be thin. He doesn't...
Oh.
Yay! Robin's not coming after me.
He won't come after me either.
Multiple members have said that if they gained weight, they were called chubby or fat or ridiculed, put on diets, had their diets controlled, restricted.
How does that work with the food allocation if they've gone to Costco?
Chloe drinks the same coffee. If you look at photos, you can tell they've all lost a lot of weight, even B-Dash. Miranda's lost a lot as well.
No, she hasn't. No, she hasn't. Without a crystal balls has put that up on.
Oh, is that she's put that on her thing, has she?
Yeah, she has, and Tina has put it up there as well and said she's actually built muscle mass.
It's muscle mass.
Yeah.
Muscle's actually heavier than fat.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe we're still on KJ.
I know, I still can't believe we're still on KJ. We've gone for I can't believe I've been going for 2 hours.
I said to you, Joel, coming on here to just
I know. I thought we'd get this.
I have a lot of shit to say.
If we got KJ to Melbourne, the smell of coffee would give her a stroke.
There are diets, and then they also aren't allowed to sleep a lot. So one of the former members said that they work on like 5 hours of sleep. And then they're only eating like very regimented diets, and because Robert doesn't like people to be overweight because he thinks lazy people are lazy, apparently. So they're not sleeping a lot, so they're sleep deprived, and then they're not eating enough, which is another easy way to manipulate people. When you're not sleeping enough, you're susceptible to being manipulated just because you're tired and your brain isn't functioning at like the levels. And then if you're hungry on top of that, your brain and your body doesn't have the energy. So critical thinking is hard.
So what's your excuse, KJ? Oh, sorry, didn't mean to be that. Oops, that came out badly. Didn't mean to say that. Oh no.
I don't know what to say.
This nearly done. Don't know what to say. Well, don't say. You say it best when you say nothing at all.
Oh, I love that.
377 people are watching. Oh, is she going to talk?
So again, so yeah, Nexium controlled calories. They also controlled sleep. Remember on Nexium they had to text whenever, and like they had to respond to text whenever they got a text. They're encouraged to contact their mentors and text them with any questions or concerns daily.
Well, I have to. How is that different to having to contact an employer with any problems that you got at work? Oh, she's busy blocking.
So it's interesting. Someone said it's like North Korea. They keep the people starving to avoid revolt against the government. It's interesting that you would bring that up because a former member who also happens to be Korean said that the tactics that they're using are actually very comparable to
Osbel says, I'm so sleep deprived I can't even come back with a smart comment.
the way that the North Korean government controls their people. And I think someone in this group has family from North Korea. I'm not sure who, but yeah, they did bring that up. That it's.
I wouldn't go after North Korea. I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
It's not uncommon. It's like how North Korea treats people.
Russia is not in China.
Russia is not China. She must be an undercover dancer. Her comments are so slow.
I don't know. So first off, Kylie owns that dance studio, so this idea that she's not affiliated with her dance studio is probably not true. It's more than likely that it's removed so that there's not the connection online. They delete anything, so if you report something, they delete it. Like I share a video.
Oh, like you do.
Oh, an innocuous video that was Isaiah made 7 years ago, and they delete it. Like I find a photograph from 7 years ago of Shirley, and she deletes it.
But you're the queen of delete.
They delete everything. Like I've never seen a group do this before.
You've obviously not.
I have. Yeah. And it's called Without a Crystal Ball.
Yes,
They delete shit.
I was going to say she obviously hasn't checked herself out.
No.
At all. Like, literally at all. Like, the IBLP doesn't delete shit. Like, it's all out there, which is, like, what I'm used to. I'm used to the IBLP having all their shit out there, right? They don't delete stuff. And this is just, like, everything is deleted.
I know, she's got competition for once. She doesn't like it.
Oh, she hates it.
And I think one of the exposed accounts, whether it was Cult Sucky or Sucky Cults or 7M, did a thing on their social blades and noticed that all of them were deleting a lot of posts. Yeah, so I was listening to the SoundCloud.
I'm covering up for all my cult accounts that I've now put out there, and I'm just naming them, and you're deleting them.
Yeah.
They literally.
They're all mine.
Of me listening. I was listening for half an hour. It was gone.
Oh,
deleted with in the middle of me listening.
That's happened to me watching her. How many times has that happened to you watching her?
Mm-hmm.
Shirley has put her entire social media at private because Shirley's Instagram contains a lot of guns.
Because Shirley doesn't want little nosy little YouTubers looking at her pictures.
She's like into tactical training and she likes guns.
Oh, well then she's dangerous then, isn't she? Hello, Karen.
I don't know if I might have liked it or something. I don't know how they knew I was listening. I have no idea. Maybe they got notification.
This is funny, Joe.
I told you this is like comedy hour.
It is. It's huge.
Isn't this better than budget?
Oh, no, I've got so much to say on budget, but I think we're going to have to move that to another whole night.
We'll have to move that to another night because
what I've got to say doesn't form into this conversation.
Okay. And Gunn, she likes to keep fit. Yes, I know. How dare she keep fit?
But I still can't believe that it's 4 years later and I'm still dealing with this
I did
woman.
talk about the Hillsong documentary.
See, I'm surprised she hasn't gone after that a lot more than what she has. I thought she would have done I know she did a few posts, but she hasn't done a whole video on it. But then I did point out that she got her facts wrong.
She did not get her money back, no.
Okay, here we go. What'd she do with her hair?
Okay, so that's what I have for tonight. My weird angles. Alright, so, you know.
No, I don't. I don't know. Tell me, what do I know? I know nothing.
Joe, you know.
Apparently I know.
You know.
They have to submit. They have to die to themselves. I mean, they privated Crucified. They got rid of deleted videos off of the Crucified page. I feel like if you're not doing anything wrong and you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to hide, so you don't need to delete. I mean, I can understand not wanting some stuff out.
If you've got nothing to hide, KJ, you keep deleting stuff.
I feel like if you're not doing anything wrong and you have nothing to hide, you have nothing to hide, so you don't need to delete. I mean,
so what are you hiding?
I can understand not wanting some stuff out there, but it's everything
You and Peter are nuts. Yep.
Foul gets deleted.
Dude, get stuffed. We've been doing this too long. We're not nuts. We're just over the shit.
No, I am nuts. The doctor told me. Although apparently I'm not nuts enough.
was buy her guns. Doesn't matter that she has guns. I mean, plenty of my.
Sorry, Osbel, I'll stop touching my hair. apparently it's bad to have guns.
Stands by her guns. Does it matter that she has guns? I mean, plenty of my followers are gun owners and are responsible gun owners.
And she's got followers now. She's a cult leader.
So why does it matter if that's what she stands by and she's not doing anything illegal and everything is on the up and up? Why does it matter if her Instagram is public or private? Oh, I'm a ring. Thank you. I think the privating might have had to do with the Clippers too. Okay, so that's what I have, and just I forgot.
Oh no.
Some of you guys had brought up Slavic's fundraiser, and we all have a choice to be private. We do. And if that's the only thing that you took away from this, that's on you.
Oh my god. Oh my fucking god, Joe. That woman.
That again. That was great. I just love. Look at the face.
That woman. Ugh.
And we all have a choice to be private. We do. And if that's the only thing that you took away from this, that's on you. The fundraisers. So Slavic did a weird fundraiser for Ukraine.
Oh boy. Oh.
He was a mayor, and all the money was going to go through Ukraine, and he set it up on this website that is not as legitimate as GoFundMe, and a former member told me to beware. They almost feel like Robert's going to take some of that money. That's their opinion.
Yeah, tell us about your
What about her fundraisers?
Fundraiser that everyone had to donate to your PayPal.
Yeah, I heard about it.
Everyone had to donate to your PayPal to go to the Ronald McDonald House fundraiser. Who was getting that benefit? Like, ultimately, someone was going to get the receipt at the end of the day to write off on their tax. If it came through your PayPal, who was getting that receipt?
Yeah, that's right. Oh boy.
Oh, we weave the webs we sew.
Twitch is a dancer, and Ellen's always had dancers on, so it's really not that complicated. I don't think you're going to see them on Ellen anymore. Retaliation. Well, my name is getting smeared, and there's people pretending like I'm being obsessed and I'm lying. What I'm actually doing is trying to cover a story in real time, and it's extremely exhausting. I haven't been able to really cover much of anything else because I have so many people, like, from the time I wake up until the time I go to bed, there is something in my inbox from someone affected by this group. It is literally, I don't even have to go find it anymore. It's people are bringing it to me.
Oh boy.
Oh, no, I haven't made a tree. I was actually working on that, of like, so you know the names. And then the other thing was a lot of people were like, well, why aren't the family members speaking out? A lot of them are afraid to speak out. They think that if they speak out, their family member is going to not trust them and be further pushed into the cult. So you have to just respect them and where they're at and let them know that when they're ready to speak out, there's a place for them to do that and share. And if they don't, can't force them to.
But I need the money, so I want them to.
No, they don't all live on the church campus. The church actually doesn't have a campus. Like they only have like one apartment building there. The rest of them live in housing that is set up through the church.
Church provides housing.
They also deleted the Q&A between Isaiah and B-Dash and Miranda and Maynard. They deleted the Q&A. They're deleting just dumb things. Like, I don't know why.
Like she deletes dumb things. A kangaroo bat. I think a cross between a kangaroo, so a gorilla and a bat. I don't know.
All right. So I will save this. No, I don't. No. Yeah, that one's gone.
It looks like KJ.
That video they deleted. The Q&A that Miranda and him did is gone. Isaiah was in that video too. All right, you guys.
Oh, she didn't even say goodbye. Oh, llama girl. She's got the pictures. Look at that. She's put the faces. Oh dear me. What she done? Oh, she posted. She's put up all the clips. Gee, that was funny. Oh, there was yes, I saw that she had done as well. Well, I'm a girl. She's. Oh, that's right. She confirmed she can't see the comments, and she talks about it being hard to get records from Canada. Who else digs for records? So this is culty yuck, cults. What yuck? So it looks like that cult's yuck is actually KJ. Plus, he's from Canada. It's hard to get those records. Do B-Dash never like comments? And then also mentioning his high sex drive, just like KJ. And then this cult's yuck says, "Damn, I can't see the trolls." Who else speaks like that? Feel free to share anything you notice with us. Yeah, so it's either Toad or KJ. She confirms she even has them blocked and then tells the girls to block them. I've heard that, and we're in animal prints too. He has me blocked everywhere. So interesting, isn't it? Every cult has a look. Oh dear. So anyway, as Llama Girl said, she made a sweet cappuccino at home. Lama Girl, thank you for your work. You have done well. Oh, boy. There we go. I think I've lost Peter. You still there, Peter? I think I've lost Peter. So I want to thank you for watching and joining for tonight. Thank you, Peter, for being my sidekick, for getting us through this, because that was hilarious. We've had some fun tonight. We'll have to do it again. I'll have to have Peter on again next time because she wants to talk about the budget. Yes. Apparently she's got some dirt for us. Baby Peter will know what happens in the prayer room. But anyway. It's very interesting. But I think, look, I don't know whether the allegations are true or not, but I do know that all of this is not helping, particularly the victims. And I do think that the Wilkins thing is a family dispute that they need to sort out on their own in private. Anyway, thanks, guys. Too funny. Looking forward to the next live. Oh, you can come and talk on about the post office. Yeah, I'll have to. Yeah, I have to have you on, Will. I like, as you know, I like to have fun. I like to have a laugh. So thank you for everyone for joining me for that. Anyway, I've got to get up. I've got work tomorrow, teaching work, as I said, and now I've got most of my evenings free. I know Plan to Create hasn't been very well, so keep her in your thoughts and prayers. I know that's a 2-hour live. You missed the madness, Osbel, so do I. I miss the madness. But thank you all for joining me, and I will catch up with you next time. All right, bye for now.